Hello. You are in the right place. Welcome along to episode 69 of Adventures in Pop. A little bit earlier on this evening, I spoke to my good friend Ian, and we had a chat. I guess you could see this as the third part of a trilogy, really, about ABBA. We talked about the news when it first came out. We talked about the album when it first came out. And now Ian, as you would predict, has been to a concert of the new ABBA Voyage event, and he's allowed me to give him a call so we could pick over the ups and downs of ABBA Almost Live. I think it's worth saying before I dial Ian in that the reviews generally of this ABBA spectacular have been spectacular. There have been a lot of 5-star reviews, a lot of people saying this is jaw-dropping. It's been, truly wonderful, blah, blah, blah. And you've probably seen some of the images floating around. They're very careful about not letting people take too many photographs. They want to kind of control what goes out there. And Ian, as you will find out, is also quite wary of spoilers. So he's been very, very responsible in talking to me and being careful not to give too much of the game away. Let's go over to our conversation. I'll see you later. Well, Ian, thank you very much indeed for joining me this afternoon. It's fair to say that, look, we had a first conversation when ABBA made their big announcement. They were doing things. And then we had a second conversation once you'd actually had a chance to absorb the album. That was back in November. But now the third opportunity, the third bite of the cherry, which is always part of the ABBA plan, was, them doing these events. I almost called it a live show, but I don't really know what to call it. These events in London that have been brilliantly well reviewed, and now you've gone to see it. So we need to know what you made of ABBA Live, the Voyage Live-ish.
Yeah, so they bill it as a concert like no other.
Yes, okay.
Well, so I suppose that is quite a good description, really.
Yes, and so you went a couple of weeks ago. How long? It had been going for about 3 weeks by that stage?
Yeah, probably about that, yeah. I knew they were going to be there for the VIP night because I'd seen a couple of things, and so me and Neil went down to, watch the red carpet, and but we got there too late. Didn't think like how early they might arrive for the whole thing. The start didn't work back far enough. Thinking,
were you a little bit late?
Or and we were both at work, so you couldn't leave like midday or whatever. So that was like heartbreaking. We got there, and people said, "Oh, well, actually, I was on the way." And Neil said, "Oh, we're too late. It's online already. They've already been in." We did see Kylie, but to be honest, I don't really like Kylie.
It's not the same. Part of the reason for even mentioning that is I think you did say to me the other day that there'd been a technical issue on one night. There'd been a technical issue. And obviously then, I mean, that's disastrous in a situation like this, isn't it?
I did read one online article where they had a technical hitch, which, and it broke down for an hour and people got a bit frustrated and started singing and things. I mean, I'd have thought, I mean, nothing is perfect, and I suppose that will happen some stage. You would be thinking that this would have to be foolproof and would not break down and would have backup generators, backup discs, or whatever they're using, and it did break down because it all obviously, I mean, every show relies on technology to a large extent now, even lots of theatre productions, everything. But this obviously totally relies on technology. I mean, there's a live band there who are amazing.
But you've got nowhere to hide. If something goes down, it's going to be obvious, isn't it? And because it's not going to just be a detail around the back.
No.
So look, the reason
a piece of equipment that gets stuck, sometimes you go to see a stage show and something doesn't move. Actually, I saw something the other day, the Pet Shop Boys, Chris got stuck behind a screen, it didn't move or something. I don't know the detail of it. Things like that. I've seen that in gigs where props or whatever haven't worked. But this would really break the magic. You do have to suspend your belief a little bit.
I wanted to ask you this very question. I think this is possibly the most important question is do you sit there thinking, God, the technology, this is why I started with the technology thing, because I think I would go and sit there thinking, technologically brilliant this is, it's breathtakingly clever, which is not the space you want to be in. You want to leave all that stuff behind and get into an emotion of ABBA songs, and that takes that bit of stopping thinking about the technical brilliance of what you're watching and being absorbed by, you know, by ABBA really, and that does need a bit of a leap, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. I think obviously that is in your mind because you've read all the 5-star reviews or whatever. I actually didn't read the reviews, but I saw the 5-star headlines. I didn't want to know the set list or how it works out. So you've got in your mind, you know, it's a technological thing they've done, and you're wanting to be taken in by that and believe in it. But at the same time, you're very aware of that. Well, I mean, when you first asked me to do this, I thought I won't be able to say very much, but they've actually released the latest video shows a bit more than than I thought they would now. And I mean, they tell people not to take photographs, but you know, a few badly behaved people always do anyway, so you can see photos. So you move between the two really, because honestly, when you see them, the life-size avatars on the stage, they're just incredible. You believe it's them. It's unbelievably them. But you're amazed. You believe it's them, but at the same time you're amazed. How can it be so believable? Yes. So you're questioning the technology. I think if I went to see it again, often like when you see a film that you're very hyped up about, you go with a very critical, or I may do, a critical head-on thinking about this and that, and don't enjoy it. I mean, I did fabulously enjoy this, but enjoy it quite as much. If you went a second time knowing and not having that thought, you might get even more involved in it. But I did. We all got involved in it, and we all believed it. And
so, Ian, tell me about the audience then. What was the audience? Our age or younger, or the whole gamut of
quite mixed. Across the road from there is it's sort of a pop-up bar, but it's obviously a semi-permanent thing. It's a business. I don't know. I presume it's nothing to do. Well, it isn't. It looks like nothing to do with the arena, but you know, they're obviously taking the opportunity, whether they worked with them at all. And people, that was open before the arena's open. So a lot of people were in there, and you know, I went with Neil and Jason. Neil was there, and he was talking to this Danish family, and who'd come over, like a 3-generational, mum, her son, and his daughter, and all the partners and whatever, a big group of them, and behind us there was German speakers, so there was quite a lot of Europeans there, mainland Europeans, we're still Europeans, and but a wide mix of people, and a lot of people dressed up. I was a very nice atmosphere both there and in the arena.
Yeah,
Jason got talking to a woman in the queue who was wearing one of the famous cat dresses. She told him she bought it in the museum in Stockholm, and other people just in glitter or sequins. So there was that, not everybody by any means, but so that was very nice atmosphere altogether.
And when it started, that whole thing about parking your disbelief and just being absorbed and believing that you react to it as if they're the real ABBA, etc. Did you get that from the whole audience, that everyone was...
Definitely. You react as if it's them. Everyone is reacting as if you're a gig, because it plays out like a gig with costume changes and video breaks, interludes, a band interlude, a video interlude, and it is like a gig, and yeah, so so you just accept that it is a gig. You're there really, and
that's helped. Both there are some live musicians who really are playing.
Yeah, they're really like an excellent band as well. Yeah, so can you see the sound, the lights, the vision, the arena and everything is just like top notch.
Yeah, where do they put the band in relation to ABBA? Are they?
They're like to the left of the stage.
Okay.
Yeah. On the stage.
It's not. I think it's awesome. It was awesome.
And, you know, I've heard the tunes 1,000 times, a million times, and it gave them an added freshness again. And, you know, it's got, they played tracks that I'd hoped they'd play, but didn't expect them to do. And obviously they've got a big, you know, back catalogue of even like, you know.
Without giving anything away, Ian, they do stray off their greatest hits then, don't they? They do go to the odd album track and...
They do, yeah. You can read the set list if you want to.
I'm not going to approach people.
I wouldn't talk about the set list, but I mean, I've heard that some things which, you know, stand out as not being there, like big hits, they've recorded, and then they can, you know, refresh it at a later stage, and I encourage people to go again, yeah, because you can see, oh yeah, 2 new.
Was there any song that you really wanted to hear, or just thought you would, and then it wasn't there?
There was one song that I really thought would be there and wasn't there, but it wasn't one of my favourites anyway. It's one of Jason's favourites, so we had a big discussion about that.
I'm sorry. Which one? No, go on. Which one? Which is a matter of interest? Which one?
I'm not going to tell you. So to spoil. No spoilers.
Okay, fair enough. Respect. You know. No, that's fine. That's fine. And were there any kind of low points in the gig? You know, because often when you go to like a gig, you know, you start off with great excitement, then there's a, you know, then it can lull a little bit, and then build towards a climax, or, you know, depends on what kind of artist.
Well, I mean, I didn't find them as lows, but when I've read them as lows, you know, people don't like the band playing or whatever. The band played a song themselves. I thought they did really well, and they deserved their moment at the front. There's video interludes, which I thought were really nice and really it did play like a show, which does have dips and things.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
you know, the costume changes, the costumes are brilliant. You know, they you know, they had all these costumes made and digitized, so from, you know, Dolce and Gabbana or whoever other designers, and, you know, they play on their old costumes, but you know, they glamorize them and modernize them. So it's not a kitschy thing at all. And it's got like different phases of the show, like, you know, 4 quarters basically of like, oh, now this and this and this, yeah.
And there's banter, isn't there, between the songs? They talk, or one.
Well, do you know, I don't know, I should say, I can't say anymore. But there's nice merchandise, and the staff are all highly customer friendly.
Yes,
very, very charming people.
It's really good. Really, yeah, really good. And no, listen, I think it's an astonishing thing. And we've said before, you know, where ABBA have started, other bands will absolutely follow, won't they? Because, you know, there must be for a big established act with a big back catalogue of, you know, a large repertoire that people would pay to listen to, it's clearly a way to go, isn't it?
I mean, I didn't really watch much of Glastonbury or the Jubilee concert, so I don't know how true it was. People said Rod Stewart was awful and Diana Ross was awful, but other people thought they were good, so I don't know really. But everyone loses their voice later in life. There's no denying it, you know. Even if they hold on to part of their range, they can't do their other range. So if they want to have some sort of legacy for themselves, this is the way to do it. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I would definitely want to go again. You can in the arena, the front is a dance dance floor, and in further up in the bank, the Danish family we met, they booked one of these dance booths for I think 10 people or something. Also got seats in them if you can't stand all the time, and you know that'd be a nice experience to do next time.
How does that work if you're in a dance booth?
I mean, I didn't look at them, but they must have seats around the back. It's a bit like being in a booth at the Albert Hall or something like that, but and then you can sit at the back if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you can't dance at the Albert Hall, but you know, it's like a private little thing. Well, they have, I mean, the O2 has them, don't they? And Wembley has them.
They're like the private
and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant. So, because I mean, I said from the beginning, ABBA's going to, ABBA, that will be on for 5 years minimum, and probably 10 years, or it's a kind of thing like, like Les Mis in London. It will just go on and on. There'll always be people who come to London who say, "Oh, why don't we get tickets for ABBA while we're here?" It'll just go on and on, won't it? And they
It's expensive, I think, or it can be expensive, definitely. So I don't know how, I'm finding lots of theatre tickets are really expensive now. So I don't know how much they've got to try and get recouped back to
for building a venue, probably quite a lot.
Yeah, I think the idea of the venue is it's like demountable, and they can take it to the next city in however many years they decide to stay here. And there's like they go on about the eco credentials and things, and so try to minimize.
Can they pack the whole theatre back up again?
Supposedly, yeah.
That's handy, isn't it? No, I can just imagine. I think it's so interesting that they've been trailblazers in this very technical way, because you wouldn't have imagined that ABBA were going to be the band to take this kind of live event to a whole new place with something that's
I know this is a bit of a naff thing to say. I really felt proud of them for doing it.
Exactly. That's what I think is so.
It's like such a big thing. Everyone was skeptical about it. I was. Oh, you're going to pay all that money just to watch a film and things, and it is like when you first saw the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. The first Jurassic Park. Everyone was really. It was the first thing, and you were blown away by that, and then the first, total CGI Toy Story or whatever. It is like one of those markers. And
it absolutely is. It's a groundbreaking moment, and I'm sure that the Rolling Stones and those people will be looking. I mean, Rolling Stones seems to be obvious, isn't it? Like aging.
Well, they seem to be. They're still performing. Well, I presume. I think they get good reviews.
Maybe it's right. Maybe it's for Rod Stewart and Elton John. I mean, Elton John. I hate to say this, but can't sing anymore.
Well, I did get sent a clip from Hyde Park, and actually, I mean, it was much better than those awful performances he's done recently. Everyone.
Oh, I'm glad because I've seen.
He did sound good, to be honest.
Oh, good. I've heard him sound like a foghorn, and it's been upsetting, frankly. But he did play gigs at Watford Football Club last week, so that was all quite exciting. Very sweet. Anyway, let's not get off topic. I mean, drawing us to a close there, I mean, did you feel like everyone left incredibly thrilled and excited and happy? And
definitely, without a doubt, the atmosphere was really fantastic. And
have you met anyone who's been to see it who wasn't thrilled?
No.
I think that's really...
everyone says they're amazed, and they're just blown away by it. So
that's a lovely note.
You have to believe the hype.
No, that's brilliant. Ian, thank you very, very much indeed, because if you said it, then we have to believe it.
Yeah, believe it.
Well, I think there you have it, and thanks to Ian again for giving us the time and the wisdom of his experience. I think there's just one message there, really, isn't it? It's pretty clear. It's just go and get your tickets. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. If you're enjoying, then subscribe and follow and do all those things. And I will see you next time, and we'll talk a bit more about some other music. Bye for now. Bye-bye.